So guys, next continuing with the fuel analysis report, 4 point we have discussed, microcarbon residue we have discussed, ash content. Okay, so these blended fuels, they have got a problem with, so you can see one of the blogs by bunker ship and bunker company. You say that they are saying that they have all which are 0.5% more fuel, sulfur fuel, which have got higher calcium deposits and off spec cases in case of ash contents. Okay, so there is this concern that because of the oil generation process, in the blending process, they have increased the amount of ash content and the calcium content therein. Okay,
to every marine engineer out there, from junior engineer to chief engineer and electrical officer, we all know that earning respect on ship is very important. We all know fast promotions are very important, and we all know that इज्जत कमानी है, promotion चाहिए तो काम आना चाहिए, तो जूते पड़ते हैं, गालियां पड़ती हैं, and for that you need a good mentor. Sometimes we keep finding those mentors on board ship, अगर नहीं मिल रहे तो MNDFLIX है ना, Merchant Navy Decoded has launched a subscription model where you can find more than 30 plus courses with respect to your rank, helping you earn respect on ship. Please enroll on these free trial videos, watch these videos as per rank, and then decide whether you want to invest or not, with a very good flexible payment plan as well. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mother.
so what our concern is, when your ash content is more, it is more of causing issues. This ash is going to get your filters choked. Okay, or it will get the pipeline choked. So in that case, if it is more, then it is also a cause of concern. So how you will eliminate if you are getting a little bit higher of this content? In that case, you have got this has got ash has got affinity with water, so water drains with in the settling tank. So more of these draining, so it's very important to drain the settling tanks. In that cases, you can remove cat fines also have got affinity with the water. So as much as water you will drain from your settling tank, the more your cat fines will reduce, the more water content will reduce, the more better your, so draining frequency you will have to increase. If your water content comes more, or ash content, or such microcarbon residue contents or cat fines are a little bit more, so first thing that you can do is, before giving it to the purifier, you have to increase the draining frequency. Say every watch you are draining once, now increase it to twice in a watch, or 3 times in a watch, like that. Increase the number of frequencies of the draining from the settling tank. So that will do four things. They will remove such contaminants which have affinity, or which are coming with the water, or which can get removed with the water, like your ash and water, cat fines and water, that can come together. So that will basically reduce the load on the purifier. And the purifiers you will have to you can run normally also. Water also similarly, water if it is more, uh, what damage it can cause, let us just see also, like this. Critical parameters, like ash content. So what is this? Sediment and ash water content. If water content is more, it will cause condensation, and then in the settling tank, service tank, temperatures are less, it will cause condensation. The combustion quality will be very poor. Corrosion in the injector or the fuel components can take place if your water content is more. Okay, the water content should be basically less than 0.5%. Most important is draining the settling tank, and then purification. Next one is your sediment and ash content. As we can see here in the report, the ash content or the sediment, total sediment content maximum is 0.1%. So this one and ash content, what problems they will generate? These are insoluble particles. Sediments are the insoluble particles, whereas ash are the non-combustible residues. They will cause deposits in the engine, and they will cause turbocharger fouling. So in that case, how will you help, how will you remove? If they are increased, they can be removed in the draining process. Okay. Next and the most important factors, the factors also, let's see once from here also, uh, what all factors are there, the key parameters. The density one we have already seen. If there will be higher density, fuel injection quantity, separator efficiency will reduce because your purifier is not meant. Viscosity, if it is more, more viscosity means more resistance to flow. Injection or atomization will be poor in this, in case your viscosity is more. Okay, pumping will be a problem. Okay, will require heating. Sulfur content, basically, sulfur content, if we see in our report, if you see in our report, sulfur content, uh, here is a sulfur content is below 0.50, that is 0.49. Why it is required? Because more the sulfur content, more the SOx formation, and then the compliance, IMO compliance for Marpol NX6 with respect to sulfur content has been capped to 0.5% maximum mass by mass. So maximum of 0.5% sulfur is allowed in the fuel that you are bunkering. So thereby, if more is sulfur content, basically you are bypassing your requirement, environment compliance. So in globally, your sulfur percentage, so percentage should be 0.5%. And in the ECA area, ECA is the emission control areas, your sulfur percentage should be 0.1%. Higher sulfur will cause more SOx emissions, and that will reduce fines into the vessels. If you have higher, if you are burning fuel with more percentage, say 1.5% sulfur, you will require scrubber to be fitted on board. If you have got more water content, we already discussed, more water will cause condensation, your problem with purification. And if water goes into your combustion system, then poor combustion, because with water the fuel will not come be better combustible. Corrosion will be there, injectors can get damaged in case you are using um, oil with water. For that, the remedy is draining of the settling tank. In case of ash, with insoluble particles, and ash are non-combustible residues, which will cause deposits in the engine and can cause turbocharger fouling also. They will not be combustible, so they will cause turbocharger fouling, which becomes a major problem of the turbine side. Okay. Now next one, which is most important, is the cat fines. And always and mostly we have been found that cat fines are increased because they are directly coming from the refinery process, and cannot be separated beforehand, and totally cannot be removed even if you are doing any level of purification. So what you can do is you can reduce it to the optimum level. So maximum 60 is allowed by the cat fines, is the maximum 60 is allowed, maximum 80 is allowed as per the ISO 2005. As per ISO 2017, it is maximum 60 which is allowed. Okay, so depends on your oil type. So the cat fines level have to be less, very less. Okay, one important thing is your sodium. And only when you are checking cat fines, not, don't just see the aluminum plus silicon value, also see the individual value for silicon also. You can see individual value is how much. For say, if the cat fines is 4, how much is the individual value of silicon? Because silicon is like a uh, sand. Silica is like sand. So more is the silica, more is the abrasion, of your fuel components, like your fuel pump, which is running at a very high pressure, of your fuel valve. Okay, with silica it becomes very difficult, and it causes more of the abrasive wear to your fuel components. Okay, alumina and silica, so both are here 2 and 2. So which is basically within range. Okay, sodium, vanadium also. Sodium and vanadium, as we are aware, they cause hot corrosion. sodium and vanadium, when you are combining in a ratio of, sorry, sodium here, sodium and vanadium, when they are combining in a ratio of 1 is to 3, they will cause hot corrosion, right? Sodium vanadium pentoxide they will form. So their limits is also to be individually checked. Here you can see, uh, for vanadium it is 17 and for sodium it is 30. Okay, so more the level of sodium and vanadium will be more causing your hot corrosion, so that you also have to keep in mind. Now in the analysis report, aluminum silicon, you can drain the settling tank, service tank, and remove some part of the cat fines, and for more, keep your auto backwash filters in standby. If cat fines are more, keep cleaning routines for the filters. If ash microcarbon residue cat fines are more, keep the filters always on standby. Say you were cleaning the filters beforehand in every 15 days, now you do it on a weekly basis. Increase the interval of the cleaning of the filter routines. Okay, so not just that, also run the purifiers in parallel and run with a minimum throughput, because these cat fines are very abrasive. Not just the cat fines, whichever wear elements like your sodium, calcium, these deposits, if they are going to come on the top of your liner, they will basically cause abrasion of the liner, scoring of the liner, which is very very dangerous. The scored liner cannot retain the lube oil on its surface, due to which your lubrication film will be damaged, and piston and liner sticking can take place, micro seizure can take place, scuffing can take place, which will destroy the complete liner, liner and piston arrangement, and it will be a big job. Severe wear can cause to the piston and the liners in case of cat fines. Higher cat fines can cause um, very fast. Yeah. Flash point, we have seen lowest temperature at which the fuel ignites, minimum 60 degrees is as per the SOLAS requirement. So fire hazard. Okay, pour point, flash point, and um, sulfur content, these are the three important parameters. If they are more than the ISO parameter, there is no other way, you have to debunker. For other contaminants like calcium, ash, cat fines, water, etc., you have remedies, like you can add additives, CCAI, you can add additives and reduce the impact of them. But in pour point, flash point, and sulfur percentage, which is as per the BDN, they will they will certainly have to be debunkered. They are coming under the insurance. Pour point, lowest temperature at which the fuel flows. Okay, so problem with storage and pumping, needs heating. Okay, now come to an important parameter, which is CCAI. As you can see here, iron, nickel, calcium. Let me come to CCAI. You can see CCAI value is 796. 860 is the maximum value of CCAI, which is said that can be combustible. What is CCI? It is the, since you know aromatic means a compound which is having benzene. Aromaticity means the fuel stability. As much is the fuel stable, as much it will not be having a tendency to burn. The more stable fuel will not burn. So more is the aromaticity. Calculated carbon aromaticity index is your CCAI. Calculated carbon aromaticity index. So more aromatic is the carbon, more aromatic is the fuel, because fuel is basically your hydrocarbon. C6H6 hydrocarbon is the most stable hydrocarbon, benzene. So the more is it aromatic, it will not burn. So less, maximum is 860, that is allowed of the aromaticity that the fuel can burn. Otherwise it will be very bad in combustion. So it has to be below 860. Even if you are having 820, 830, that is also considered a bad fuel. So in that case, for CCAI, if you can see here, this is one of the companies dosing chemicals. So you can dose one of these chemicals, which is called here as combustion catalyst. So if you are having, say, this one is saying if you are exceeding 840 in the cci value as per the report, that means it indicates a very poor fuel quality, and you can use this chemical treatment of combustion catalyst. Other companies can have different names for their combustion catalyst, but this is how you will be dosing, and there is a dosing rate mentioned as per the company's requirement. So every 4500 liters you are dosing 1 liter. And one more thing, if you are having more amount of ccai, you need to run the engine at a higher load. Do not run it at a load lesser than 50% load. Okay, try to run it at 70-80% load. Okay. uh, Also calcium also is a deposit more over coming in the fuel. So you can see maximum 30 allowed, here also you are getting more calcium. Blended fuels have got these problems, and what happens when you are inspecting the under piston, you will see that there will be whitish deposits on your under piston, on your piston crown. And your piston crown, if they are getting thicker white deposits, that indicates that you have got more calcium, and this calcium will basically form hard particles like cat fines, and they will scratch off your liner, will cause liner scoring. So calcium we have to be very careful about. One of the cases I discussed was calcium was more due to which liner scoring could have taken place. So for calcium also they have given additives. Company has given additives to reduce this calcium in the oil. Okay, so in the next part we are going to discuss further about the fuel oil analysis report, guys.